guys, I am right up close and in your face because today I'm doing a foundation review. So we're getting all up close and personal in my business. As you can tell by the title, this is a review about the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Foundation. And I have already put it on. I have a full face of makeup on right now, but I want to give you a little bit of information about what I know about it. And then we're going to wear it all day long. We're going to come back in the evening, set up some lights, and I'll let you know my final thoughts. So as always in any foundation review, it's important to know what kind of skin you're dealing with. This is almost 44-year-old skin. End of the month, it'll be 44. I'll be 44 too. And it is dry, definitely dry, not dehydrated, but dry skin. And I generally prefer a medium satin or even dewy finish foundation. This is a little bit different. So I've tried for years to wear Armani foundations. I've never had any luck matching up the right shade. I've heard wonderful things about the Luminous Silk, never been able to get a match. When I heard about the new Power Fabric Foundation, I was excited because I heard they changed up the formulation a little bit, their shade range. And if you have more yellow tone skin, which I thought I did, you might not like this as much. These shades definitely are less yellow than the Luminous Silk, from what I was told by the Armani sales associate. There are, I should say, 20 shades in this range. And the bottle is 1.01 fluid ounces for $64. That 0.01 makes a big difference, doesn't it, for $64? Like I said, 20 shades, and it does have SPF 25 in it, which is kind of nice. Armani describes the finish as a velvet matte, so it's not a flat matte. It's supposed to have some, I'm looking in the monitor, it has some life to it instead of a dead matte, and it is described as full coverage and wears up to 16 hours. So let me tell you how I feel about applying it. I applied it with a flat top kabuki brush, as I do pretty much all of my foundations. I think it's only fair if I'm going to test a foundation out to wear it exactly the way I wear all of my other foundations. I feel like, and I think you can see from the footage here, a little bit goes a long way, but the first layer, definitely not full coverage. I would say definitely a medium, heavy medium coverage, but you can see some of my freckles showing through, some sunspots. I have a little bit of redness from some residual blemishes, but my skin overall is looking pretty good. So I did follow the directions. It says you can build up. It is a buildable foundation to a second layer, so I did add another layer to get that full coverage effect, which it most definitely is. I did find that other than a little under eye brightening, I really did not need any other concealer for my blemishes. At first look, however, without any other makeup on top of it, I did feel like it blended, but where I have pores on my cheeks, it really sat in those pores and did nothing to help minimize them. I don't expect a foundation to minimize my pores, but I certainly don't want it to accentuate them either, and I do have some reservations on that. So I put it on first thing this morning. I should say that I did not purchase it. I went to Nordstrom and I got 2 samples in these little bottles. I got shade 1 and shade 2. I am wearing shade 2. It doesn't look like much, but there is a lot in here because this is the second time I've used it, and I definitely have enough for probably at least 2 more uses out of this little bottle. So I definitely recommend going to Nordstrom or Sephora and picking up a sample or 2 before you invest the $64 on this. Anyway, I did like how it looked after I put on all of my other makeup on, which I will list in the description box. Armani also markets this that it can double as an under eye concealer if you mix it with one of their brightening products. So I did try taking my finger and just tapping on another layer on my under eye area. I like a brighter under eye, so while it definitely covered, it didn't brighten, and I don't have the brightener that they recommended. So I did go back and add a layer of Radiant Rose and tapped that in, and then I went ahead and added another layer of Tarte Shape Tape in a shade lighter than my usual skin tone, just to get the brightness that I like underneath my eyes. So that's all the info I have and how it went down. I forgot one more thing, that's not true. I did prep, instead of using my usual moisturizer, I am testing this out with the new Glossier Hydrating Primer Moisturizer. I can't remember the exact name, but it's marketed as a moisturizer and primer. So I'm testing that out as well. Maybe not fair to the makeup to test it out with another new product, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, I will try to check in as I'm running errands and then do one more check-in at the very, very end of the evening and give you my final thoughts. But going into it, I'll say this is, to be fair, my second time wearing it, and the first time it didn't perform as well as I'd like. So I'm kind of hoping that using a different application technique, it will work out better. So let's see, stick around and see how this works out. So it is many, many hours later. It's about 9 o'clock and I've had this on about 12 hours. And I will say that maybe from this distance from the camera, it looks pretty good. Really nice for filming. I think I'm looking in the monitor to see how it's gonna look with you looking. You can see where like my actual makeup on top is worn off. My blush is worn off because I said on the phone, I literally had my phone pressed like this against my face all day. Talk to a variety of people on the phone and I sit like this when I'm thinking or whatever. But the actual foundation is still on. It hasn't really worn off. From a distance, looking great. However, when you get really, really up close, and I'm gonna insert some photos of that if I can, and if you get, not really up close, but if you were here in person and you could get about this far from my face, you would see that it is really cakey. It's cakey all around, anywhere where I have fine lines. So all around my nose, the corners of my mouth. I actually have patches of flakes of skin just hanging off my chin. I haven't seen that happen in ages. The worst part is where I packed it on for an under eye concealer, where they recommend using it as an under eye concealer, really caked into the corners. So final thoughts. I will say I forgot to mention, I think that I did set this with my Laura Mercier Candle Glow Perfecting Powder, just like I said, all of my foundations. So back now to my final thoughts. If you're going to use this on camera where no one is going to get up close and personal with you, you will look flawless and beautiful. Special occasions, if you have combo to oily skin, I think this would be a great foundation. But I'm going to stand by my initial assessment of this foundation. The first time I wore this is only the second time I've worn it. If you have dry skin, no matter what moisturizer you use underneath, after a few hours, it's too matte and it's too long wearing and it's too drying on dry skin. So that is my 2 cents. It's unfortunate because I'm looking on camera and it's still so pretty 12 hours later, but real life, not so much. So maybe I'll use the sample up just for filming, but I'm still on the hunt for the perfect, really long wear, flawless, special occasion foundation, and that I have not yet found. Would love to hear some recommendations from you. If you can think of one that I need to try, I would love to know for dry skin, remember. As always, thank you so much for watching. I will leave a link below if this is something that is, something that you are interested in, but again, dry skin friends, I think I'd stay away. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me, and I am going to test a totally different foundation next time, different end of the spectrum, the newest one from Wet n Wild. So stay tuned for that one. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.